Hi, the following is a conversation with Rudiger Maul, a German multi-percussionist that mastered many styles across the globe. He will give us some insights about how he practiced, how he learned so many different instruments, and how he mixed everything together. So let's go for it. Okay, so Rudiger, thanks for joining this. It's a pleasure to have you here and talk to you.
My pleasure.
To start this conversation, I'm one of your followers, so I'm always following everything that you post, and I see it's hard for me to categorize you. Anyway, we don't need to categorize, right? But can you introduce yourself and like tell us who you are as a drummer or a percussionist or an artist?
See myself more as a percussionist.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a percussionist. I start to learn conga atabaki playing in my hometown in Augsburg in Germany with a Brazilian guy. He was studying philosophy. These were my first steps, but 35 years ago or something like this. And why did I do this? Yeah, because when I was in the age of 15 years, I think I just listened more to the percussion in the music,
Okay.
text or something like this. For example, Santana. I don't hear the drums and I don't hear the guitar. And then thought I want to learn it, but where? And it's another 5 years. Then I met this guy, and he gave me the first steps on atabaki conga.
So in the beginning, I imagine it was just your hobby. You were interested about it, and when was the click? When you said, "No, I want to do this." That's the thing.
I thought I want to do this, and I want to make this as my main job. And everybody, all of my friends thought, "You crazy guy."
Yeah, I think that's normal.
But I did it, and I'm successful. Yeah. So.
Okay, that's cool. And okay, so you started in conga and with this Brazilian influence,
Yes.
but then you expanded to different genres and sources and cultures, right? How was that
The first musicians I met in my town in Augsburg, Germany, in Bavaria, was a Turkish guy. He was playing the oud, the Oriental oud, and a guy from the Balkan era. He was playing guitar, yes. And they both love flamenco in this time in the early 90s, something like this. And they love Paco de Lucia and so on. And so we created a trio with two guitars, or maybe this Turkish laud, and percussion.
Okay.
So and these guys were showing me the first steps also in Oriental percussion, how to play a frame drum. And then I have to. My knowledge about conga playing was not that much because this Brazilian guy was moving to Brazil after half a year, and half a year of teaching is not much.
Okay.
So I always have to think, what can I play? Because I knew 3 or 4 rhythms, but we have 20 songs.
That was you said 30 years ago?
Yeah.
So besides a teacher, how would you learn?
I was knowing the techniques. So this is a slap, this is the open tone, and so on. To think, I have to create my own rhythms.
And so when you started learning these other genres, the Arabian and more Oriental, what other cultures that you entered that you dove into?
I had a lot of teachers. Please show me how to play a conga solo. I cannot show you how to play a conga solo, but I want to learn it. You also play solo. Teach me. I cannot teach you. Just look. Okay. And next teacher, next teacher, next teacher.
Okay.
Because I love to play solo.
Uh-huh.
At this time, I was younger at this time. So I had a lot of teachers. I was there was in Munich, a Latin percussion school. I was in Gambia, Africa. With African guys. Some of them I met in Gambia were moving to Bavaria. So and here, so I was playing with guys from Guinea and Ghana. So we had Guinea music, Ghana, and my Latin stuff. We created a band with the trio, and some more professional things.
Okay, so this is interesting because when you get in contact with all these different music styles, there is all the backstage behind it, right? It's not just how to play and the technique and this how it sounds, right? It's a whole culture. It's how people talk and how they live. And did that influentiated you somehow, like from the Brazilian culture or the Oriental, or did that change it yourself somehow?
Yeah, I think interesting is to have the feeling, you know, when I was flying over to Gambia, and I was going out of the airplane, and then here the first time djembe in Africa, and that is totally different. The feeling. When you hear a Brazilian guy playing samba or berimbau, it's a different feeling. I just can try. I'm a Bavarian guy who is drumming, so I can copy it or bring the feeling of the Moroccanian frame drum and so on. Yeah, but yeah, I was trying to build my own soup out of this. Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about the soup. When you play, either when you were composing or when you're playing solo, I imagine you bring all these influences, right? But you are usually playing one instrument, right? You're playing the berimbau, for example.
Yeah.
What's your process there? Like, what do you enter into the Brazilian mode? What genres maybe you can mix into berimbau, for example, or you can even use examples if you remember, okay, this piece or this moment.
In the beginning, it's always to find out what is the feeling and learn the original technique. But then I start to have a connection with the instrument. You need a connection to the instrument, especially berimbau is a good example. Because for berimbau, it was this Brazilian guy, my first teacher, just hanging on the wall. I saw it, and I asked him, I need to buy this. But you cannot play it. Yeah, show me how to play. And then I know how to play. Okay. And now it's a feeling I have a connection with and a very good connection to maybe to a cajon, to a berimbau, and bring my own thoughts into it. But first you have to learn the techniques, and then you have a connection with the instrument, and then play.
Okay.
Bring your soul out into the instrument.
That's nice. So you probably correct me if I'm wrong, but your process when you are doing a solo isn't much rational. First, like you understand the instrument, you know how to play it, and then you just let all these influences go, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I think that's super interesting that you focus more on the not more, but you put attention on the first step, which is understanding the instrument and creating a connection, a real connection with the instrument. Because if not, then you learn to play a piece in a berimbau, but you don't know how to play berimbau. You just know how to play that piece in the berimbau.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you want to improvise, you like get stuck because you don't have this connection with the instrument. So that's cool. Let's understand that a little bit. When you were exploring all these different instruments, each instrument has a completely different technique usually, right? Do you play tabla?
No.
Why don't you play tabla? That's a good question.
Too complicated.
No,
I had when you're learning how to play the frame drums, there's a strong Indian influence because of guy Glenn Wallace, for example. He other guys they brought all the finger and hand techniques together on the frame drums. But so if you want to learn the frame drum, you can play the traditional stuff from Morocco, from Turkey, but there are also techniques from Iran, from Persia, and from India. You can put into the frame drum. So you have to learn a bit of Indian style, and for the frame drum, for example, it's the mridangam. It's like a tabla, flute, and you play right left. So you have this split hand technique.
Okay.
And you can put parts of the tabla or mridangam, it's the name, technique into frame drum. So I know 30 lections of mridangam.
And could you relate a bit these techniques between that one, for example, and the conga or the pandero, like, or is it starting new?
Yeah, you have to go to 2.0. Yeah, conga is, for example, different to stick technique. Okay, that's clear. But the conga technique is more the whole hand, parts of the hand, and with frame drum or darabuka or the oriental instrument, the finger technique.
Okay.
It's totally different.
What you get from one to the other is more the rhythm, the feeling of the rhythm, like how you interpret rhythm, right? The timing. That's really interesting because, for example, I play tabla really bad. Like tabla for me is, I got to a point in the tabla that I said, or I really go into this, or I'm just gonna be faking forever. And I decided to or fake forever or don't play it. Yeah, but when I realized I was just playing drums, but in the tabla, I was not actually playing tabla. It is okay, that's this instrument. We really need to understand it and go into the technique.
But the knowledge helps a lot for playing drums.
Yeah.
True. But the difference is when some people ask me with the technique and the difference, for example, a paradiddle. You learn a paradiddle, and then after 4 weeks, okay, it's working. And then after half a year, and if you practice paradiddle a lot, you can really play paradiddle fast. But if you learn split hand technique, so you have to practice 4 years to play 32 notes.
Yeah, but it's true. Each style gives you more vocabulary, right? So
yes, exactly.
When you're trying to make solo, then you mix all these ideas and vocabulary together, and it sounds rich.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Let's get a bit into your practicing routine. You practice every day or every week?
At the moment, I don't have really practice routine. I focus, since a couple of years more to stick techniques. I go more into the drum set. It's maybe because I'm older. I don't know. I teach a lot drum set, so I have to go more into the drum set, I think.
And what exactly, can you be specific? What exactly do you study? Like what were you studying this week, for example?
Really rudiments and old marching drums.
Okay.
We've also in Germany we have a big snare tradition. Even Switzerland, Germany, and so on. And I study really this old marches.
Why?
Yeah. It's interesting, and as I told you, more than 30 years ago, I started to learn everything about the Brazilian goddess, the goddess of the Yoruba, and so on and so on. But I was not focused on my own tradition.
Oh, okay.
And now I live here in a small village, and they ask me, we need a drummer for our village music. You know, it's typical German. And I have to be, I can play a bit, but not really good. So now I'm a bit on this traditional German snare, American snare, and all what you need to play a good snare.
Do you bring this this knowledge from these other instruments into also the drum practice somehow, like the patterns or combinations or the sounds?
When playing with my band Faun, more than 22 years, I had a drum set without bass drum.
Okay.
Because we had an electronic musician, and all the doof chuck was coming from the electronic. They forced me not to play a hi-hat because the sound is everyone knows the sound, so we have to create everything different. So I had a drum set with a piccolo snare, 10-inch, 14-inch, and 18-inch tom, and 3 cymbals, and then I have to start to create grooves into together with the electronic musician.
Okay.
So from the electronic comes the straight beat, doof cha, for example, or doof cha, and with my percussion knowledge, I was playing maybe a tumbao on this drum set.
All right.
And also I use a lot paradiddle for this. So the right hand on the right cymbal and the left hand on the toms, and I was creating sounds on the toms and some new grooves and percussion knowledge.
All right.
I was thinking, because I cannot play conga in a medieval band.
Sure.
Okay. So I start to play Mozambique and all this stuff into this Faun music. But nobody, if you don't know the rhythms, never get the idea, oh, that's Latin.
Yeah, but somehow it surprises, because I guess if we keep so much into the same vocabulary, which most drummers have, right? The jazz, rock, and metal, and when you change a bit, it will surprise the listener. There will be a bit different beat, a different accent, and it calls their attention, although they don't know exactly what's happening, right? Just this mix enriches so much the sound. So that's super cool.
Yeah, but it's the thing with percussionists, because you learn the congas and you learn the Oriental percussion instruments. If you love to play with hands and fingers, so you have a really big knowledge of different grooves, and not only. I mean, it's not an only, in groove and fill-ins. So I work more with connecting the grooves one by another.
Okay.
It's not only the variations. You have to know also a lot of variations, but it's a different mind, different head, different way of playing. Yeah.
Nice. How is this life playing Faun and creating your own also stuff and touring and?
Yeah, I stopped with Faun. I was going out of the band in the last December, so now I'm free to do something new, but just play village, or I don't know. Playing with small jazz groups here in my area, and I will see what happens.
Nice. Do you have a favorite? Can you say you have a favorite instrument at this moment? Probably this changes every year.
Yeah, I think a lot about my instruments, because I have a lot, but I think really the bongo.
Wow, that wasn't expected.
Because you have the deep note, the high note. You can play every kind of rhythm. You can play Oriental. I mean, it's originally an Oriental instrument. It's from Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Smaller, but it's from Turkey and North Africa. They also have this wooden material. Not wood. It's from the pottery. Yeah, you can play every style of music with it, and the sound works in many music styles. You can play everything there. It has a lot of technique. And another thing is calabash, bass note. When I put a cushion underneath, you can play every technique.
Okay, this is the same cabasa from the berimbau, right?
Yes.
But just half.
Yeah, and bigger. I have a bigger one over there. You need to put a cushion or a carpet underneath. You have a bass note, a high note, and that's what you need on every drum.
Do you play Udu?
Udu, yeah, a bit. Yeah.
I love it. For me, that's my favorite for sure, because you have this deep low tone, and also the.
Yeah, for a tabla player, it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Big instrument.
Do you have a favorite time signature? For time signature?
I didn't understand.
A time signature, for example, 4/4 or 12/8. When you're gonna do a solo, you get a berimbau. Do you think, oh, I'm gonna go more into this vibe? So
I don't think in rhythms then.
Okay.
I think in timeline, yeah, but I don't think about, it's a 9. Because that's think too much. When I just play a solo, I play a solo. When I play a solo in a group, okay, I have to know, we are in 4/4 now or in 7/8.
Yeah.
Clear, but when I just play, I did a composition when I was studying composition on the computer. I was working with melody and so on, and it was 7/8, 7/4/3, 7/4/3 all the time.
Okay.
Just happens. It's always 7 again. Yeah, 7/4/3. Yeah.
Cool. Any band or musician you would suggest people to listen to that you have been listening these days?
I have two bands where I really love the drummers. I love the music, but especially also the drummer. One band is called Go Go Penguin from England. You don't know?
No, I don't.
Check it out. The drummer is amazing. And the other band is Maul Hands. Maul Hands. It's a jazz. You know Maul Hands?
No, I don't.
Oh, check this out.
That's cool. Yeah, nice.
Really cool drummers, and both bands are. Go Go Penguin is a quartet, I think. No, it's a trio, and Maul Hands is also a trio. Yeah. But very nice melodic stuff, and the drummer is very, very much into this linear drumming, I think.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic, really fantastic.
That's
with
cool.
a lot of stuff on the snare and very, very creative. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, last question. If someone is starting or is already playing a little bit and had you as a reference, playing so many different instruments and mixing things and solos, what would you suggest?
I think, a general tip, what I really practice always and again is the different accents, different possibilities of playing accents. The important thing you have to learn, I think. And this is because if you are in the timeline of 16 notes, you have 16 possibilities playing accents. If you are in 3 triplets jazz, you have 8 possibilities to accent, but on every single quarter note, and then mix it. Okay,
so feeling free to do this, like ghost and accent, right?
Yeah, accent on the second, gut, and so on. Yeah, this is very important on every instrument, on the snare, on the conga, and what else.
Yeah,
that's very, very important. Yeah, to be able to play the accents and then combine it with the typical technique of these particular percussion instruments.
And before we close this, you have a book, right?
Yes, I have a book.
Nice.
Oriental Rhythm Collection, 112 rhythms from 21 countries.
Amazing.
In English, not much to read, a lot of rhythms. The DVD with explaining techniques on not only on the Oriental instruments, also on other percussion instruments.
Cool. And where can people find this?
Every bookstore, Amazon. Everywhere.
Cool.
And I also have a nice CD. Maybe you want to listen to it. It's on Spotify and so on.
Adura. All right.
It's a mixture from everything, and with a nice story.
That's amazing. Well, I guess we went through a bunch of different aspects of your life as a musician. You wanna add anything else?
At the moment, no. Check out Faun.
Okay.
You want
your CD, your book. There's a lot to learn for sure.
And maybe Go Go Penguin and Maul Hands. Very nice music with fabulous drummers and very interesting drummers. Also.
Cool. Amazing. Rudiger, thanks a lot.
Raul, thanks for the invitation.
See you next.